Hey, what's going on, you guys? I'm sorry this is so late, but it's time to finally do my out-of-box review for the Master Grade Fenice Rinascita. I just want to say a few things right off the bat. Number one, again, as always, big thank you to my sponsor MindFenix Hobby Store for sending me this kit. Very, very happy to build it and share it with you guys. Again, apologize that it's a little bit late, but hopefully this video will still be useful to some of you guys who want to know more about this kit. Hopefully this will answer your questions, maybe help make up your mind if you're thinking about if you want to buy it or not. So that's one thing. Second thing is you'll notice that it's already up on an action base. Usually I would save that till later in the review, but this kit does not stand on its own at all, at least from what I could try, unless you get it in like some super goofy pose. If you just want just a normal standing pose like this, but actually standing, I don't think you're going to be able to do that. At least I couldn't get it to do it. So I just got it up on the action base right off the bat. But the nice thing is that this kit actually does come with an action base, so I have to think that that was maybe part of Bandai's reasoning for doing that, as they knew that this kit was not going to stand on its own. But I mean, a lot of kits can't stand on their own, so I don't know. But in this particular case, they actually decided to throw in a new version of the action base, which you guys saw in the unboxing. Very, very nice action base. It's much better than the action base 1. I hope that they start selling this. As far as I know, they haven't started selling this action base on its own, just by itself. As far as I know, it's only available with this kit at the moment. Hopefully they start selling it on its own, because it's much better designed than the action base 1. So I like the action base quite a bit. It's on the action base now. It's black. It's cool. It's very useful. So that's that. The other thing that I want to get out of the way soon, maybe not quite right away, but I will give you guys a shot comparing this to the high grade version. So we'll do that momentarily. So I think that was basically it that I wanted to say about this right away. Let's go ahead and get this rotating. The kit is really nice. I had my, not doubts, but when I built the high grade, I was quite impressed with the high grade. I actually quite like the high grade quite a bit, even still after building the master grade. If you had to ask me which kit is better, I would have a hard time choosing, because obviously the master grade, obviously the master grade is better by most people's definition of what's going to be better about a kit, but not everyone has the same definition of better for a kit. Obviously the master grade has a lot more color separation, has a lot more details, has a lot better articulation, has just a full inner frame. There's a lot of things better about the master grade, but of course the high grade is nice in its simplicity, I think. This mobile suit design is a design that I think looks good as a fairly simple design with not quite so many details on it. Now, that's not to say that all the details on the master grade don't look good, because all the details on the master grade do look very, very nice, especially a lot of the areas where we can see the inner frame poking through, that is like gray parts poking through the armor parts, on the legs, the shoulders, on the wing parts here. That looks like a nub, but that's just a little piece of plastic stuck on there. Yeah, so I don't know, there's definitely pros and cons, obviously, so that's just gonna be up to you. Obviously the price is gonna be a big thing too. This kit, master grade, was what, 4,800 yen? That's pretty expensive. So when the high grade costs less than half of that, that's definitely going to be something that's going to have to be considered by people who are a fan of this design. So just something to think about there, guys. I'll go ahead and talk about some of the articulation now. If you're familiar with the master grade Wing Gundam, I imagine a lot of the articulation is going to be very similar. It definitely has some weak points, but overall it's still going to be very nice. So we'll start off in the head, and it's got some nice movement forward and back very far, so really nice looking up movement there. That's always good. Looking down, good there as well. I think it could maybe go down a little bit more, but that's going to be the limit of that. Really nice design on the head, first of all. I know that was one thing people complained about as well. The head design for the HG was not totally accurate, I believe some people said. Again, I'm not really a huge stickler for that. If it's close enough and if it looks good is what's really important for me. If it's not 100% anime accurate, it's not really something that I care too much about. But I really like the design of the head. Really nice V-fin, really nice homage to the Wing Gundam with these things coming off the side. We got some inner frame for these Vulcans poking through there on the chest, so that's cool there. Same thing for the vents in the chest, some nice details, yep, inside there. What is it? This thing here in the center, also very nice. The cockpit hatch is going to open up. You just fold down this lower green part, and then this upper part you're just gonna basically pull it out like that, and then open that up. And inside we do have our seated pilot figure inside the chest. We'll just bring that top part back down, close at the bottom part, and there's that. Really nice movement here in the waist. It's going to be going around, not really bending as much here between the red and green part as I would have liked, but it is going to be moving a little bit lower there in the waist, side to side, front to back, all pretty well there. Just pretty nice movement all around. Shoulders also going to be pretty nice. These are kind of designed in a certain way to move like that, but we can open this part up. There's the extra thruster inside the top of the shoulder there. Again, that's going to be for the transformation. We'll talk about the transformation shortly because I want to kind of talk about that. Anyway, in the arms, just rotating there. Double joint here for the elbow. Gonna go about that far, not all the way up, but pretty good. These claws on the back of the arm are going to be individually articulated, so those you can move if you want. Again, those are just mostly for the transformation. And then the wrist is just on a ball joint, so just going to be pretty simple there. The hands are Master Grade wing style hands, so we're just going to be swapping the fingers for if you want different options that. And then the thumb is just on a ball joint, and there's nothing else really to say about that. The arms are going to go up about that far. Coming forward, let's try going about that much. So we do have this joint in the shoulder that's going to be swinging out about that far. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. And then while we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at the wings. The wings are really nice, just simple mechanism, not really too much to say about that. It goes side to side, and these can fold up and down, and then this part can open up like that. So pretty cool mechanism there in that opening. These two parts separate there, and then this red part can move side to side, again mostly for the transformation, but it can add some effect there to that if you want. I like the design of the wings, definitely cool, definitely much more interesting than the Wing Gundam, I think, so definitely prefer these new wings. Very nice. And then some cool details, vent details on the top of the wing there as well. On the skirt armor, what you would expect from a Master Grade, basically everything's on ball joints, moves nicely. The back skirt, this part moves up and down like so. So pretty cool how the center part kind of stays there, and then this part moves around it. So pretty cool movement there. These thrusters on the back of the legs are going to move up and down like that if you want. And then the legs, again, pretty normal for a Master Grade, especially for a Master Grade wing, so you know how they move. The knees and ankles make it difficult for the kit to stand up, plus the wings on the backpack, so that's the reason why it has problems standing on its own. Just the design of the legs is designed for transformation, but it just makes standing a little bit more difficult, I think. So the knees are going to bend, let's see, forward bend that much, so pretty nice bend and nice separation of this knee part here. Again, here on the front of the knee we've got some gray vents kind of poking in from the inner frame through the armor there, so that's pretty cool. And again, just nice separation of all the parts there for the knee. Looks pretty good there. Here on the side, this does open up a little bit like that to reveal that thruster inside there, which can move a little bit as well. The lower part doesn't move at all. That's that. And then the ankles, again, just going to move side to side, front to back. The toe points down like so. Very nice, far pointing toe. It's for the transformation, but that's always good for me. I always like a foot where the toe can point nice and far down. It's always good. Here's the bottom of the feet there. Some pretty nice detail here. This part, I mean, is pretty plain actually, really. But that is pretty much it. Sorry we just kind of swept through that pretty fast. I don't really like to spend too much time talking about articulation, but I know it's important to some of you guys. Some people like to see about that, so Hope that was helpful. Anyway, I didn't really point out the stickers again, but just in case anyone was wondering, of course there is a sticker behind the clear piece here on the chest. There is a sticker for the eyes, sticker for the camera on the head, as well as a tiny one there on the back of the head. On the back of the head, it's actually an interesting little detail, and then it's covered up by the sticker, so it's kind of odd. I can't really show you because it's really small. Even if I took that sticker off and tried to show you, it'd be really hard to show on camera. If any of you guys have this kit or get this kit, you'll see what I'm talking about when you get to that. It almost seems like it's not supposed to be a camera there, but lo and behold, it is. Let me put that down to the side for a minute just to give you guys another look at this action base, because it's very similar to the action base one essentially, but it does have some major differences. This switch here is on the back, which is different from the regular action base one, so we switch that back, and then we can move this up and down as we like, and then adjust that, and then it has the switch here on the bottom for adjusting the angle, so we switch this one out, and then we can adjust the angle of that. That slides up and down on there. Improved design there as well, I think. And then at the top we have a switch here, which is going to be for adjusting this angle of the connection part here, so we can move that however we want it, and then flip the switch. We get it into one of the slots, then flip the switch, then that angle is set for that top part there. So again, much better design. Most importantly is the design is that on the action base one, this front part support plugs into like this center part here, or it can, but the center part is like a separate piece that if you like pick something up, that always falls through, if you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if anyone else suffers from that problem, but of course glue would fix that, but this just totally eliminates that problem, which is good for me. Details on the bottom look nice too as well, so definitely a much improved base there. So let's go ahead and get into some of the accessories, because we do have a fairly good amount of those as well. So we'll set the kit up there for the moment. First thing is we've got our effect parts. So here they are. This is going to be plugging into there on the shoulder, as you guys know. It's 3 separate parts that are articulated here on here. So these are going to move kind of front and back, and then they can swing out. They're not supposed to come disattached, but hey, you know, if you move it too much, they will do that. They're only supposed to move really about that much. If you extend it more than that, it'll come apart. The center one just moves up and down. So these fairly simply just plug up into into the shoulder like this. You hear the nice little click there, and they're in, and then you've got that. So pretty cool. I was worried that all these connection parts here would kind of take away from the overall look of how this is supposed to look as just like a effect part, and now it looks a little bit more mechanical because of these things here at the top. I was worried about that, and I think I'm still worried about that, because I do think that these parts here it gives it articulation, but it takes away from the look of it being an effect, like beam effect. And beam effects don't have joints; they're just beams. So that does definitely take away from the look of that for me. I don't really think that was absolutely necessary. I think they maybe could have just made it 1 or 2 or 3 different pieces that plug in sort of together. They don't really need to be articulated, I don't think. There's not really a whole lot of point. If you do want to have it like more spread out like that, you can do it, or if you want to just have it smaller, you can do that. I mean, it is kind of nice, but I think I would much rather have it just one piece than have these parts there at the top, but again, just me. So we do have 2 of those, 1 for each side. You'll see more of that when I go to pose the kit as well. Beam effect parts, we've got just a normal beam saber effect part. I'll show you the beam saber momentarily because it is housed inside the shield. And then we have this one, which is serving as basically like a beam bayonet on the rifle. So let's go ahead and look at the rifle first. So here it is, very nice design on the rifle here, I think. It's basically the wings rifle here. There is like 1 or 2 parts that are switched on this, but we do have a foil sticker there on the sight, on the camera there on that. So, and then basically we've just got these ports here for plugging on this part. Just gonna just be going up under there like that. I like that. It gives a lot more bulk to the rifle. I think without that, it's a cool looking rifle just as is, very long and narrow like that. But with this, it gives it some more bulk, gives it more character, I think, a more interesting shape. This part does open up here in the back. I think we need to take this part off so that if you wanted to have it like basically changing out the energy canisters there or something, you can kind of have it doing that, but we'll just keep that closed. Keep this part on like so. The handle is going to go in and out. There we go. Just a little bit like that. This handle does also move side to side for your secondary handle. And then this part on the front does fold down there as well because our beam bayonet can be plugged into here like so on the rifle. Very cool, definitely like that. But we can also take this part off. Let's just take the whole lower part off and then separate that, and then this part is just going to be a beam pistol, which the front was just coming out. This is just can be a beam pistol, so you can just hold that as just its own weapon, just there by itself. And then this one can be held just as a sword, basically just by making the Gundam hold on to this part sticking out there. You just hold on to that, and then you can hold it as a sword. It's goofy. I don't really think that looks good at all. You're much better off. The pistol actually looks kind of cool. I could be into that, but I don't really like pistols for Gundams all that much. So I think just keeping that together is best. And you could use it just like that, or I mean you could use it like that as sort of just like a longer pistol, maybe like a shorter, smaller beam rifle. Best thing I think is just keeping this all together as one like that. So it's nice that we have options, but I think this is really the best thing, the full rifle there. So there's that. We do have one extra energy canister there, kind of E-cap basically, similar to that, but I don't know what they're called actually in Gundam Wing. Anyway, I'm sure there is a more technical name for that. And then we have our pilot figure, just a standing figure there. I think I've been in Korea for too long. And there's that. And then we have our hands. Obviously on the kit you can see we have the options for the just fists, but then we also have options to make open hands. So we have those for the left and right hand. Then we have trigger fingers. Also again for the left and right of those. And then just plain holding hands, which would be like for the beam saber or holding onto the handle for the shield. Again, we have all of those for the left and right side, which is nice. And then we have these two connection pieces, which are going to be used for the transformation, for mounting the rifle onto the bird mode of this. And then finally, last but certainly not least, is our shield, a huge, big, bulking, complex shield, probably the most complex shield that I think I've ever built, maybe outside of the Armed Armor DE for the Master Grade Banshee Norm. This one as well has the foil sticker there, but that is a clear green piece, so it's kind of doesn't make sense. I put the foil sticker on there just for the sake of the review, but just know that you guys that is a clear green piece inside there, so you're probably better off just not using the foil sticker, just keeping it the clear green part. But this does have some really cool articulation. This part, when you're opening this up, be really careful because it's really easy when you're opening this to just pop this part off. But what it needs to do is kind of open and move back at the same time, sort of like that. Then this whole front part you're going to bend down. And then there, inside there, as you can see, is our beam saber handle inside there. So then we can carefully pull that out. If you can get to it, it's a little bit difficult. And anyway, there's our beam saber handle that we can go back to our beam saber effect part, and then there we go, there's that. Very nice, but let's get back to the shield anyway. Then we can just close that back up. This part here on the top does move as well. I'm not really too sure why. I guess maybe for the transformation you can flatten that out or straighten it up, whatever you want to do anyway. And then we have our connection piece. This part is the tabs for putting it in bird mode. This part is the part that's going to attach it to the arm, so a nice mechanism there. And then up inside here we have a small thruster bell as well as a handle for actually just putting that into the hand if you so choose. I think this can probably hold it just perfectly fine, just attaching onto the arm. You don't have to actually have the handle in hand, but if you want to, I think you probably could. This part here does slide on a small track like that. Again, it's for the transformation. If you have it transformed, you need to slide it back like so. Just holding the shield, you'll slide it forward like so. Before I forget, let me give you guys just a look with these. Compare the master grade and the high grade. I would like to have them standing actually side by side rather than like front and back like this, but as I said, the master grade can't stand on its own, so it makes it a little bit difficult there. Anyway, hope this will at least just give you guys just a kind of basic idea as to some of the differences here. Hopefully you can see that well enough to see, at least just get some idea again about that. The kits definitely have quite a bit of difference there. Alright, that's better, so let's continue. I gotta say, I had a really hard time getting this shield into the hand. It's a very tricky maneuver, kind of what you have to do. Kind of putting this part onto there first, and then you have to move this part behind that part and get the handle in the hand and plug the thing on the back of the shield. Anyway, it was not the easiest thing to do, but I gotta say, once it's on there, it does seem very securely attached to the arm, which is good, and of course, even more importantly, it looks good. I love the look of the shield on this kit. If for any reason the shield didn't work in some way, like it couldn't hold it or it was like too heavy for it or something, if the shield didn't work for this kit, that would be a huge problem for me, because this shield is probably one of the best things about this kit. I love the look of the shield for this kit, so I'm glad that it works really well. The other thing that I was a little bit concerned about is the weight issue of the rifle, because obviously the rifle is quite large, long, and it has a lot of extra weight on it now, even more than it did before for just the Wing Gundam. But luckily, as you can see, it is able to hold it there pretty well. We're not getting any sag in the wrist yet. If it was posed like this, just on your shelf for a while, that might start to sag probably. But I think as it is now, it's okay. So definitely gonna say so far so good. No problems with the articulation at all. Getting into a pose was very simple. Again, just had a little bit of problem with the shield there, but then after that, it was very, very easy to just get this posed up. Now, the other issue that is made by the size of that shield, though, is that it definitely gets in the way of if we want to put these effect parts on. So I'm now going to try to put the effect parts on, but I'm not sure how easy that's going to be with this huge shield there on the side. So you definitely have to be just mindful, I guess. So I don't know. You might have a little bit of trouble if you want to have these beam effect parts on whilst holding the shield. Just because you are going to have to try to arrange the parts accordingly for that. So I'm going to give it a try just a moment. Alright, well, happy to say that putting the effect parts on whilst having the shield on was really not as bad as I expected. So you are able to, I mean, it depends on the pose that you're going for, of course, but for this kind of, I made it sort of dashing with the effect parts, blazing out the side with the wings open in the back, and the weapon sort of tucked in like it's just doing a dash with the effect parts there. So I think if you want to do some pose something like this, those effect parts are going to be pretty successful. They are really nice effect parts for a lot of different kinds of poses that you could want to do with this. Many different options, of course, it's totally up to you, but for me this was just what immediately came to mind, I guess, so just something that I went for anyway for the pose, and didn't really have a whole lot of trouble getting to do it, so that's always good for me. Anyway, so that is going to be just about it. There's not a whole lot much else I can say about this kit. I have to say I am very impressed with it. If we want to talk about the price, 4,800 yen I think is a little bit high, considering that it is borrowing some parts from a previous kit, so it is, although it is mostly all new, there are a few runners that are borrowed from an older kit. It does have some nice clear effect parts. Its weapons and accessories, if you include the wings, it does kind of have a lot of stuff going on, so there is quite a bit of plastic in there in the kit. 4,800 yen does still seem a little bit high. for this, I think, but it is definitely a very, very nice kit. And with these nice big rifle, nice big shield, the effect parts, the wings, all of that, there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with this. Of course, it has to be something that is to your own personal taste. I mean, a lot of people don't like big wings, and a lot of people might not like the effect parts and stuff. Maybe people who like a lot more sort of realistic sort of looking Gundams, like more UC First Gundam style kind of stuff, maybe aren't going to be so much into this, but there are certainly a lot of Gundam Wing fans who I think could appreciate this, as well as maybe some other fans of other series as well. So there should be a lot of fans of this kit out there, a lot of fans of the design that I think would definitely enjoy and would definitely not have a problem spending the 4,800 yen to have this kit. And with that, I think that's pretty much all that I can say about this kit. It is definitely an awesome kit. I would definitely highly recommend it if you're a fan of the design. So now I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, no, wait a minute. What about the bird mode? And yes, this kit, of course, does have a bird mode, and I have 0% interest in transforming it into a bird mode. Now, usually, I am the kind of person that is, thanks to my dad's sort of influence, my father's influence, thankfully, I am kind of the kind of person who believes that if you're going to do something, you have to do something right, and totally, and correct, the right way, which would make me want to include showing you guys the bird mode for this kit, because this review really is not complete without showing that. But two reasons. The first reason being that one piece that is necessary for that, a connection piece that allows you to connect the action base connector horizontally to the action base, that piece I threw into my box basket of spare parts, which I really don't want. It's now like after 1 in the morning. I really don't want to dig around there for like 20 minutes to find that small little part at the moment. So just a small account of laziness there, or just don't want to do that. And the other reason is just that I really just don't have any interest in the bird mode, and I'm hoping and I'm thinking that probably not a lot of you guys are too interested in that either. If you are interested in seeing what this looks like in bird mode or seeing about the transformation, I'm sure there's other YouTube reviewers out there who have shown that. I recommend you go and just check out their reviews, or just check out images online. Dalong.net, of course, would be a very good resource for that if you're interested in it. But so sorry you guys, sorry this review is not complete. I am not showing you the bird mode, but I hope you'll understand that I'm just kind of tired and really don't have any interest in showing the bird mode, so just I'm not going to do that. Anyway, otherwise, I hope this review was very helpful for you guys. If there was anyone still interested in thinking about getting this kit, it is definitely worth it, I think, if you like what you've seen here. So with that, I'll let you guys leave any questions, comments down below. Let me know what you think. If you got it, what do you think of it? If you have this and the high grade, what are some pros and cons for you? I think I'm kind of glad to have both. If I had to get rid of one, I would get rid of the high grade and keep the master grade. Just, of course, it is nicer. But there are some things that I still see. The high grade is still a great kit, I think, so there's definitely nothing wrong with the high grade at all. So with that, you guys, thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.